Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24. We're back with the MotoGP Academy game mode, and I'm going to show you how to get the best possible sector times and lap times here in the Circuit of Americas. So here we go then guys. Once you've manipulated your electronics, you can then crack on with Sector 1. If you want to see what my buttons do on the right hand side of the screen, then check out the description down below as it'll explain all my controllers and configuration settings for the PS5 DualSense controller here on PC. So now into turn 1, we're just going to feather the throttle a bit. I tend to feather it and bounce the throttle ever so slightly there, just so the rear wheel starts to spin, we don't reach that point. It's an easy way to bring on the power. And now as we make these change of directions from turn 4 to 5 to turn 6, you're going to notice a bit of front brake. And the reason I do that is it just helps reduce the understeer and it brings you back in to the apex. It just slows you down enough to stop from going too wide. Now into the left hand side for turn 20, it's imperative here that you do get a good start. So get onto the acceleration, use your ride height device and take a look for turn 1. Right hand side on the screen there, bang on the brakes with that white line before getting to the Brembo advertisement sign on the right hand side. Brake there and you should be absolutely fine. Aim to go for the tight apex here for turn 2, position into the middle towards the right side, then bang, sweep into turn 3, bit of brake for turn 4, turn left, bit of brake turn 5. Look how early we're turning on the analog stick as well. We're turning quite early. We're not doing it late, timing it nice and early, ready to turn in for those difficult flip-flop sections. So now onto the left hand side for turn 5. As you can see, the autopilot is going to take care of this part and we will take over from here. So keep over to the right hand side, aim for the apex and go tight, and gently bring on the power. Once again feathering that throttle, just using it nice and quickly and pressing it quite rapidly, just so the bike doesn't spin up the wheels too much. Now into left hand side we go for the tight apex and position into the line there for turn 10. Brake right there at the Shingar sign and brake as early as you possibly can to keep in for the tight apex for turn 11, then get onto the power. Now you can either drop down to first gear or second gear in turn 11, it's entirely up to you. So once again, let the autopilot take over, but just prepare yourself for that eventual right-hander which is coming up now. So into the right-hander for turn 6, tight to the apex. Again, look to the left-hand side for turn 7, nice and tight. Feather that throttle on and move into the right-hand side. Actually did a little bit too much power there. We had a wheelie and that put me on the wrong side for that corner, but it's all right. Turn in nice and early, move the analog stick in tight to the apex turn 10. Brake here at the shadow, nice and firm, but release so you don't lock the front, and run it in to turn 11. Drop down to first gear again there just to see what would happen, but ultimately you can use either first gear or second, it's up to you. So now into sector 3, this one's a bit of a tough one ladies and gentlemen, and I don't feel that it's possible to get any higher than the silver. I think it's a bit broken because of the gap you do and everything else. You'll realise it's not too much. So brake there right before where the green starts, really late on the brakes as possibly as much as you can, and then turn in to the left hand side for turn 12. You want to now brake early in for the right hander for 13, keep in tight to the apex and just gentle with the throttle here. Be patient, hit that apex and start braking there for turn 14. You must brake at that first curb so you can then turn into the apex for the corner right there. So let's see that once again. Of course, autopilot is going to start you off onto the long straight. Get onto the power. Their AI will automatically use the ride height device there, so if you don't like using that, it will automatically launch. So unfortunately, you are stuck with the ride height device. Now look to your right hand side, there's the green. Start braking there, nice and cool, nice and calm, late as you possibly can, not reaching 100% brakes. If you do that, the rear wheel may lift and then you're not going to be able to turn in. As we now turn for the right hander for 13, tight to the apex, run it a little bit wide, gentle on that power, hit the apex here. Now as you get close to this apex, start braking. As you can see, about 80% brake used, lots of rear brake, pull it in nice and tight to turn 15, and then you're done. So unfortunately on that one, yeah, it was not good enough for anything more than a bronze. It's very difficult, that section. I don't think Milestone got it right, but this one here is an absolute bugger. It's gonna brake really late there, and you have to save it upon the brakes every single time you start this challenge, otherwise you will crash and it will invalidate the lap. It took me a few goes to get that right. You just have to brake really early and really calm with the analog stick, pushing backwards to make sure you get it. So into the left-hand side then for the final parts of this particular track. See where the Australia Galicia sign is, start braking well before you get to that. Turn in, keep it tight to the apex, hit your ride height device, and get onto the power to get across the line to hopefully get a gold sector. So once again, into the right-hand side, the autopilot will take over. Keep an eye on the brake here. This is exactly what you need to look at. There's the brake. I'm already pressing it nice and firm. Not enough to really go too wide. Pushing back with the analog stick and using the rear brake as well. You do have to sort of do that and fathom around to actually get the chance to do this objective. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, but once you get it right, it does work. So now over to the right hand side, brake early here and onto the left hand side, go for that tight apex. Beautiful. Hit that apex on that angle at that speed and you've absolutely nailed it for sector 4. We will take another look at this in a moment once we do the complete lap, so just stick around if you want to see sector 3 and 4 for a bit more. So once again, this is going to conclude the full complete lap of the Circuit of the Americas. So those parts we just seen a moment ago, we will see again, but with better detail because we have free rein and the autopilot is not going to disturb. So, onto the power. Keep an eye over to the right hand side where that green starts, nice and early on the brakes. Just where that green starts, the white line after it, before the advertisement sign. Brake there every time. Not too aggressively, but just enough to cut the bike to stop, and it will feel a bit scary, but I promise you it is the right way to do it. Turn into the apex here for turn 3. Again, use a bit of brake just to slow the bike down. Once again, a bit more brake there, and a bit more brake here to the right hand side if you feel you're going to run it too deep into turn 6. Now into the left hand side, once again, tight to the apex. Really took the mickey out of that apex there. Really went onto the apex and just braked as hard as we could. Worked out rather well. Quick upshift here into 3rd gear and move over to the left hand side. Keep it in tight. Again, upshift to 4th. Brake at the Shingar shadow. And we should be able to turn in nice and early and hit the apex for turn 11. I'm going to use the 1st gear here and I'm going to try it with 2nd gear on the next, if I remember, as we now charge down the long straight. Now, I mentioned it earlier. On the green, on the right hand side. Not that green, this green, start braking. Not enough brake to reach 100%, but look how close it is. Just enough to stop the front brake from locking the wheel and being able to turn in. Now onto the right hand side, go for the tight apex, run it a little bit wide, and then turn in to hit the apex here. Hit that curb, hit this one, start braking. Bring it in, nice and casual, nice and calm, into turn 15, and now able to get onto the power. Underneath the Red Bull shadow, and we continue to move in to the right hand side. Now I do fancy dropping down to 2nd gear here, but if you want to keep it into 3rd, that's absolutely fine. Move over to the right hand side here, brake nice and early. Actually made a mess of that one, to be honest. I didn't heed my own advice. Apologies, but I made a mistake into turn 19. Brake before the Australia Galicia sign, and you are perfectly poised to take the complete lap time, which should be enough for a goal. And across the line, it is. So let's see this one more time. There's just a couple of key points I wanted to bring up again. I also want to get it right into turn 19 this time, instead of making that small error on the previous lap. Organise your electronics and away we go. Into 2nd gear, ride height device, bring on the power. A couple of wheelies there, never ideal of course. Feature eyes to the right hand side, there's a green line, bang, there's the white line, start braking. Going to run it a little bit wider here, then we were able to just manage to turn it back in into the apex of turn 1. A little bit wider, then back into the apex of turn 2. Careful on the power. And then we turn into the left hand side, use a bit of brake, hit the apex here, bit of brake, hit the apex there, bit of brake, hit the apex here, and once again, repeat for the right hand side for turn 6. Now keep that nice and tight until you hit the DHL sign, start straightening up, turn to the left. Again, really tight to the apex there, kind of abusing the rumble strips, but it works just fine. Now onto the left for turn 9, we will just be patient, upshift to 3rd, turn into the left hand side, hit the apex here, hit the curb, upshift to 4th, brake right there at the Shingar sign, that's difficult to say, as we now go into left-hander for turn 11. As you can see, decided to stay in 2nd gear this time around, and I think that might be a little bit better. I'm inspired to use 1st gear, but to be honest, 2nd gear felt easier to get onto the power, so I would recommend both, and, well, to try both and see which one works best for you. Bit deep there for turn 12, not quite as clean as and concise as the previous lap, as we now brake at the white line there. going into the right hand side for 13. Bring on the power, hit the apex here for 14, hit the apex, bang, start braking. Got to get level with that apex there to start braking. It's perfect for the MotoGP's Premier class. Into the right hand side, bit of a wheelie there, getting a bit of a bobble on us. We drop the bike. And then of course, this is where we need to get right. So keep it in tight, start to straighten the bike up and hit the brakes immediately. Tight to the line, nice and early on the brakes there, worked out perfectly. We're going to brake just on the green before the Australia Galicia sign. Keep it in tight for a beautiful apex and power on nice and calmly to get across the line to achieve an even better result in Austin, Texas. So there you are then, guys. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you're struggling on any particular track or area, let me know and I'll try and make the video as soon as possible. I also want to let you know I still have got more guides coming soon, but unfortunately my time trial is completely broken in MotoGP 24 at the moment, so I'm having to try and figure out another way to do those guides. But guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.